took it apart and I see where it failed. This is just a thin gauge material. So with the constant beating on the front wheels, been back and forth, even with the repair I did last time, it was doomed to failure. I could possibly use one of the other holes, but I think that would eventually just fail again. So I think I'm gonna make some kind of bracket that goes U-shaped bracket from down here, up here, over, and then the same on the other side. Maybe at an 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch. See what works the best. And then what I want to do, can't see it really well, but I want to cut out this front section up to the top of the deck. Maybe just to leave a little bit of the curve for strength and expose the blade so it goes right into the material instead of folding the material over. I got the layout done. It's a solid white line. I'm not really sure, I'm just kind of winging it, but I knew I wanted to have a nice radius in the corners, and that's hard to do with an angle grinder. So I found a hole saw that was about the right size, and hole saw to put holes for the corners. I'm going to try to stay away from this line, which is my finish line, by maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And then what I'll do, when I get that all cut out, I'll try to fold it in to make a hem on this thin metal, and that should increase the strength. So now, all I have to do is connect this radius, follow this dotted line down, and it should fall out. There we go. That's the opening. I'll do a little grinding and clean it up. Then I'll fold the hem. Then I'll work on the new wheel mounting bar. I got these vice grip clamp sheet metal bending pliers, and I decided to bend up instead of down. mostly because I can see what I'm doing. And it looks like it might be maybe a 1/16 thick. And it's bending pretty easy. I'm gonna rip it around that radius. Now I got a little bit past 90. Not really sure what the next step is. Vice grip. Tried a vice grip, it just wouldn't hang on tight enough, so I got out the trusty old hammer. Just gonna yeah, that looks like what I imagined it would. So it's a good deal. Unfortunately, a little bit close up. So hopefully that'll add some strength to this thin metal. Funny thing though, unfortunately, when I was beating on it, I noticed another problem. This engine is not loose. This is cracked and the bolt is pulling through. So I may need to get in there and put a bigger washer on the bolt, or maybe even grind the paint off and get the welder out and tack that down. Not seeing much of anything else that looks like it's a showstopper. This side is not broken. Can't really see the other side. Yeah, oh, I see. Maybe the problem is it's missing a bolt, but I don't know where it would have been. So we'll just try to fix that. We'll call this the first iteration anyway. If it works out, I'll try to find another inexpensive lawnmower, preferably a push. I'd like the one with bigger back wheels. It's supposed to be easier to push, but so far it's going so good, so I'll start working on the wheel mounting system. So fortunately, I had a piece of 1/8 inch by 26, and I think that's going to be long enough for me to bend down and cover this whole area. So what I think I'm going to do, what I started to do was I measured the lawnmower, the width, found the center line, and I found the center line of the new bracket, and now I'm going to clamp it on Then I might get the torch out and bend it around that corner. Might have to twist it a little to get it to go square. But I think it might work. I don't think I'm going to be able to bend it without heating it though. So that'll be the next step. And if it don't work, I got another piece. So we'll go from there. All right, got it all clamped up. Got the cutting torch out. Should give me enough heat to bend that thin 1/8" metal around that curve. I also sanded, flat disked the walls, bent them out as best I could to I guess I have to weld it. Put this up the gas tank. Want to get in and get out as fast as I can. It's gonna probably set it back more than I wanted to, but it's bent in the right place and obviously not bent enough. But once I can take it off and bend it farther, I'll just do the other side and then figure out a way to attach it. Put the front holes where I want, clean it all up, paint it, and when it's not raining, go for a test. Well, I had to change my plan a little bit. But what I think I'm gonna do now is after I got the bracket all bent, I'm gonna weld it on, stick weld it on, and then I might have to cut out some for the blade. So we're getting going on that right now. Well, that was a lot more of a challenge than I expected it to be. I guess welding on 1/16 old rusty metal is a job left for the professionals. But anyway, it stuck on there. I ground it off a little, wire brushed it. All I have to do now is cut out for the blade access and drill some holes for the front wheels, slap some paint on it, and we'll be done. Getting closer to the finish line, I laid out a place for the blade to stick out a little to cut saplings and stuff off. And I was gonna cut the whole section out, but then I decided I would just cut the two ends and then heat that up and see if I can bend it up. That way I'll keep more strength in the bracket and maybe it'll act as kind of a ramp. Well, that didn't go quite as planned, but it was hard to heat enough to bend it and hold the lawnmower down. So it's sort of out of the way, and worst case, I can always cut it off. So we'll go with that. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is drill the holes for the wheels and then fix the motor mount bolt, give it a coat of paint, and wait for some dry weather. All right, laid out for the front wheel location and center punched it. Now I'm gonna drill it. I decided to drill it for the size of the thread and then tap it and then screw the nut on from the inside to act as a lock nut. I'll show it to you when I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Push Hog. Converted from a Boland's 22-inch cutting deck, Briggs & Stratton 500 series, 158 cc's, 5 foot-pounds of gross torque. So all that remains to be seen is how it cuts. It's got a nice new shiny coat of green primer on it, left over from the deer blind. It's got the angled up deflector shield. It's got the blade that sticks out about a 1/4 inch, and I fixed the mounting problem. Oops. Short term anyway. It's all down now. Got my new fancy hydraulic coupler that I had left over using for an exhaust pipe. For now, until I can find me a pipe nipple. But it's looking pretty good. Looks like it could use a new set of wheels in the back. Front ones are fairly new. A lot straighter, a lot stronger. It ain't pretty. The welds suck. Blue holes in the side, but I'd be willing to bet it's stronger than it was before. So let's get on to a test. Good afternoon, friends. I'm proud to introduce, straight from Dyer Labs, the Push Hog. A friend of mine gave me this lawnmower at least 10 years ago. I've been using it ever since on my ditch. But I've always wanted to make a Push Hog. And this is my first attempt at it, as you've seen in the video. But now you're going to see testing. Here we go. I'd say it passed the first test with fine colors, but those were just little weeds that are growing up. What might be the real challenge for it is this thick grass that keeps coming back. We're going to give it a try. Can you pan over and show what the grass looks like? All right, let's try it. Pretty impressive. Grass is wet, rained all day. That's when we built this, but I'd say I have the same problem I had before in deep grass, especially wet grass. It seems to clog up right here and then pull the mower down. So the second iteration may involve bringing this opening back further to give it more area for discharge. But all in all, a success for a rainy morning and afternoon. I really appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoy. Goodbye.